Hello everyone, Jessica here with another layout for the Bramble Fox design team. Today I'm using these perspectives from the shop along with stencil number 12, which is this beautiful number stencil, and I'm going to make a nice school layout today. So I'm using my son's photo from picture day at school. It was his first ever picture day from kindergarten, so we're super excited about it, and I love this photo. I love how it turned out, and I love how he smiled. They got him to smile so nice in this photo, so they must have some absolute professionals working for that photography company because he just looks so adorable. So I'm pulling out some Bella Boulevard supplies here from the School is Cool collection, and I am just going to use my old trusty Creative Memories shape roller here to draw some kind of like some wavy lines on these papers, and I am just using a couple of these blues from the striped pattern paper sheet and then the black one there that you see on the top. I'm going to distress the edges with my edge distresser real quick just to give those some dimension, and then I'm just going to layer those at the top of my layout. So that's going to be the start of my layout. I'm using a background paper that looks like a tablet since it's a school layout, and I'm going to do that beautiful stenciling on it. So I'm going to pull out some tumbled glass, I believe it is. I think it was tumbled glass, distress ink to do my stenciling with. So here I'm just sticking my layers together. I'm going to pop those down in a moment, but for now I'm just going to leave it and do my stenciling here. I'm just getting a feel for where I want my photo to go. I'm going to go ahead and map my photo with some smooth white cardstock first, and then I'll put some more layers behind that. I think I'm going to grab some tissue paper and then that lovely pattern paper here. So I'm just lightly just trimming down some tissue paper layers just to pop behind my photo. And I'm not being super picky about this because I want it to look kind of grungy. So I don't care if everything is perfectly straight. I just want that tissue paper to kind of peek out there and my pattern paper behind it to peek out as well. So I'm just going to distress the edges of the pattern paper as well. Go ahead and stick that to my one tissue paper layer. And then to adhere them all together, I'm going to just use some staples because that tissue paper has several layers and it's kind of hard to use a tape gun or anything like that on tissue paper. I don't know if you've tried it, but it's kind of hard to do it. It just rips apart. So I just like to use staples and just staple them together. So easy and quick. I'm just using a little piece of pixie tape here just to tape down my stencil on that one side so it's not moving around a whole lot. And then here is my distress ink I'm bringing in with my blending brush, just blending on some of the stencil to get that beautiful numbered pattern on both sides of my photo. So it looks like it goes the whole way across, but it doesn't go behind my photo because I'm like, why even bother? My photo's going to cover that up anyhow. So I just did stenciling on either side. And I didn't do anything super dark. I kind of skipped a couple places, but I wanted to make sure that you could see the numbers enough. So I did enough that you could tell that the numbers were there. So here is my acrylic bit that I'm using today. This one's called Smarty Pants from the shop. And then I'm using some of the Proud Clippies as well. I kind of tossed back and forth besides using the Awesome one and then that yellow one. But in the end, I did swap the yellow one for the black Awesome one. I thought that it just went better with the layout and just it made a little bit more sense. So I'm going to use that. I'm pulling out some numbers from Elle Studio. So this is the stamp set and the coordinating die set. And I'm going to use these. I really wanted to enhance those numbers that I stenciled and give that a little bit something else on top of that, kind of just to make them pop and make the stenciling pop. So I'm just going to do some stamping and die cutting with my Big Shot machine. So I'm just stamping some of these numbers onto a couple of these pattern papers from this collection. And then I'm just running them through my Big Shot with the coordinating dies just to cut them out. Because if you guys know me, you know that I hate fussy cutting. As much as I love our paper snips, I hate to fussy cut. But I will sacrifice and do them for the paper snips, but I really don't like to fussy cut much else. So I use my Big Shot machine for die cutting as much as physically possible. So there I've got all my little numbers cut out and I've kind of placed them around my layout where I think I want them to go. I'm just going to pull out some letters here and put kindergarten there at the top just to reference what grade he's in. And then I'm pulling off a couple of these really super cute chipboards. I haven't really used much of these chipboards yet, but I love them. They're so cute and I just love how they're all geared to school, and there's little crayons and scissors. It's just perfect. So I pulled out some books and I put them on top of my photo, kind of like a shelf. And then I just staggered some crayons at the bottom because they're just super cute. And then I'll pull out some Heidi Swapp Color Shine. I didn't do some splatters as well because I feel like this still is lacking a little bit of black. So I'm going to pull in a little bit more black to it yet. But I found that cute little pencil and these little die cuts and some glue, this little number card, like a flash card. So I'm not going to put a whole lot on this. I really like the way that it looks right now. So I don't want to junk it up too much and take away from the focus of my photo. But I did end up putting a number 5 right on the photo there, as you can see, because that's his age. So I don't know if that'll make sense to anyone else, but it does to me. And it probably will to my son whenever he's looking at this someday and he inherits all of these books, then he can look back and see that he was 5 years old and in kindergarten. So there's my little bookworm guy that I'm going to pop there. I just thought he was so adorable. And I'm going to make some good layouts with that if I ever get some pictures of like him reading or anything. There's some more little bookworms and reading embellishments in this collection that I just love. But I have all of my little chipboards going down now, just using some Nuvo glue to enforce those or reinforce those because they're sticky on the back, but I feel like over time they really lose their sense of stick. So I like to just reinforce them with some Nuvo glue. That way I make sure that they're not going to go anywhere over time in my books. And then I'm doing the same thing with my numbers too that I die cut. I'm just using the Nuvo glue on those as well. It dries super clear, so you don't have to worry about it peeking out if you kind of smush them around whenever you stick things down, because it's just going to dry clear anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Just pulling off the backing pieces of my acrylics. Make sure you peel that backing off, because if you don't, it doesn't really like to stick very well if you don't peel that off. I left the top piece on, as you can see, for my layout. That way, in case I rubbed it or touched it in any way, I wouldn't get my fingerprints on it. So I just peeled that off at the very end before I took my photos. So just continuing on, I'm just continuing to stick everything down. My baby girl here is popping in at the bottom to say hello, and she's grabbing things out of my bin here that she thinks that I really need, like my little envelope that came with my Foxbox goodies and little random scraps that I had laying there. So I am just going to kind of finish sticking everything down to this layout. I'm popping up this little glue with some 3D foam squares from Thermoweb, and I'm going to pop that right there beside my little guy, and then just sticking down the rest of my numbers. So I'm going to grab that Heidi Swapp Color Shine in black, and I'm just going to add some splatters to the bottom, and then I'm going to also end up adding some splatters to the stenciling as well, because once I got this on, I really liked the way that it looked, and I felt like I just needed some more on where the stenciling is as well. So I'm going to actually pull it back out again in a moment and add a little bit more. But for now, I'm just gluing down these little crayons. I forgot to peel the backing off the one, so I ended up putting glue on it and then peeling the backing off and putting more glue on. But no worries, I grabbed it and it was fine. So I am just looking for what else I want to use on this, kind of sorting through my little die cut pieces here and ephemera from the pack. And here's my color shine again. This is where I'm pulling in. For some reason, I was spot on with this on today's layout, and it ended up perfectly where I wanted it, which doesn't normally happen because it's totally random, but apparently I was having a good day with it. So I'm just pulling out my ink again and a stamp set from LA's Studio. So I'm just going to stamp kindergarten down here a whole bunch of times because I felt like I needed just a little something else at the bottom. So I just love stamping on layouts. It's something that I just love to do or love to pull in. So it's just my little signature thing that I can add to this layout. I'm going to add one of these little puffy apples to my layout, and that's about gonna finish this one up. I'm gonna link everything below in the description for you in case you want to grab anything from the shop. And here is the finished layout. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this process today, and feel free to subscribe if you're not already subscribed so you'll be notified of future videos that I post, and leave a comment for me if you'd like. I just love reading all of your sweet comments. So thank you so much and have a great day, guys. Bye bye.